dash to Lurker. On the way to Lurker, there are 6 platforms, each holding a Vashir Honor Guard, 2 Coilfang Priestesses, 2 Coilfang Shatterers, and 4 Greyheart Technicians. Our first targets are the Priestesses, Skull and X, then the Shatterers, Triangle and Square, then the Technicians who survive AoE, and lastly the Honor Guard, Circle. The main tank will take Circle because of the Guard's Mortal Cleave. The Guard also does a short knockback, so it is tanked on the platform roughly in the middle. Off-tanks take the Shatterers, preferably Warriors since they can spell Reflect the Shatter armor, and tank them on the platform, staying clear of the Guard's cleave. Then one tank on both Priestesses, using a misdirect for the second Priestess on the pull. If you are short on tanks, one tank can take both Shatterers until the Priest tank is free. Interrupters will be needed on both Priestesses to stop the greater heals. If you have an extra tank, an AoE tank can gather the Technicians, but they do hamstring, so it can be slow going. Pro tip: let the Priestess tank have the first shot on the pull, so wandering Technicians are likely to come to her. Now the organized chaos, which is the pull. Tanks run in, pulling their respective targets to these locations. A healer or 2 follows up to the platform to keep the main tank in range, remembering he will take mortal strikes repeatedly. The raid hangs back. Priestesses are pulled onto the ramp along with any Technicians gathered. This prevents the Priestesses from healing the other mobs, especially after they are down. The Priestesses will do Holy Novas on death and can flash heal as angels. If there are still Technicians on the platform as the pool resolves, Shatterer tanks should pull them in, keeping them off the main tank, who will be harder to heal. Once things are in place, DPS opens up. Range stays at max range to avoid the Holy Nova when the Priestesses die. Melee can just run out before the Priestesses die in order to avoid the damage. Priestesses also cast an instant Holy Fire, which can be dispelled, and an instant Smite, which must be healed through. Once Skull and X are down, move on to Shatterer Triangle. Priestess tank then gathers Technicians and goes to Square. Once Triangle is down and Square Shatterer is the DPS target, the AoEing of the techs can start in earnest, cleaving Square as well. Once Square is down, finish off the Technicians, then move on to Circle. Remember to stay behind the Guard to avoid the Mortal Cleave. Shamans should drop Tremor Totems. Priest Fear Ward can be used on the main tank to avoid the Frightening Shout, which fears all melee and seems to happen sometime in the last 30% of health. Other things which are good to know if your raid composition is less than perfect. Technicians can be CC'd, so if one gets loose on the pull, mages be ready with sheep to save your healers or jumpy DPS. If you don't have a hunter for a misdirect on the second Priestess, she can be mind-controlled. Use a heal on the main tank and then move her over to the other Priestess and help DPS until the tank is ready to take her. If you are shy tanks, the Priestess tank should taunt Square off the Shatterer tank once her targets are down. Once all 6 platforms are cleared, the water below begins to boil, killing the horrible fish and clearing your way to the Lurker below. Now for the down and dirty DPS recap. Both Priestesses heal and need to be interrupted. Loose Technicians can be CC'd till the tank can pick them up. Shatterers shatter armor and should be tanked by a warrior, not DPS. Do not pull aggro. Clean up Technicians before turning to the Honor Guard to avoid a mess on Frightening Shout. Honor Guards, Mortal Cleave, never stand in front of them. That's it. Enjoy your swim to Lurker. This has been an IR Movies production, written and directed by Zeren. Have a great raid.